This was the Think in English challenge for you. Think in English challenge, a challenge that is not only going to help you to think in English but also improve your speaking skills. Plus, it has stages where you are going to do your English speaking practice. Hi everyone, my name is Shalima and welcome back to my another session of learning English and improving your English speaking skills with me. So today is going to be very important lesson, something that is going to benefit you a lot because we have the Think in English challenge today. Think in English challenge because thinking in English is very important to speak fluent English. Something that a lot of English learners, a lot of people who speak English wanted to speak because this brings more fluency in your speaking skills. That's right. So are you guys ready for this? If you are ready, please let me know in the comment section. Alright, so before beginning, please subscribe to the channel so that you can get all the lessons that I post for you on this channel. Please like the video and don't forget to subscribe my channel, okay? So share this video to your friends. Now coming back to today's lesson, Think in English challenge. Think in English challenge. Now this is something that is going to be quite easy for you. I have made various lessons on think and speak in English, how to start thinking in English, how to practice thinking in English, and I have told you various techniques, various lessons there are on my channel. So you can go check them out too, okay? But today what I have done is I have simplified the process for you so that you can take the 10 days thinking in English challenge where you are supposed to do, and this task that I am going to tell you today, and I am also going to give you a demo that you are supposed to do for 10 days continuously. You don't have to give too much time. No, just 10 minutes of that's enough. That's totally enough. And those 10 minutes are going to be very, very important, and you are going to speak in English, not just think in English. It's also going to be a very awesome way of speaking and practicing English. Right, your English speaking practice is important. So this is an awesome video to also do that your speaking practice. So are you all ready for this? What I am going to do, I am going to first of all tell you what is the task. The task is divided into two parts. 2 steps, very simple 2 steps. 2 steps, not more than that. And that first I am going to explain it. And then we are going to do it live in the video so that you understand what is going to happen. Okay? So particular name of this technique I would like to give you is prompt and think. Okay? Prompt and think. Prompt and think because we are going to take something as a prompt. A prompt is something that helps us to create content. Okay, we are not taking it as a crutch, but we are taking it as a source of help through which we can produce content, through which we can think about different words in English. We can create sentences in English, because we need some kind of base to think in English. This is going to help us complete. This particular challenge is for you. For example, you can see a lot of objects on this particular room. In this particular room, and I have a MacBook, I have a journal, and I have a flower vase. Okay? So I am going to tell you how to do it first. So all of listen to the step very carefully. Okay, so the stage number 1, or I can say stage number 1 is to think in words. Simply, you have to think in words. You have to randomly speak any word to that particular object, related to that particular object, right? So you have to speak any word, whatever words you can think about it. Speak it. Can be noun, it can be an adjective, it can be something related to it can be any descriptive word, it can be related to the color, anything that you can think of it. It can be the use of the object in one word, right? So anything related to that particular object that's coming in your mind, you have to speak that out loud. I want you to speak at least 15 words. Speak them, 15 words. Okay? Think about it. Speak them. What you can do is, you can take just 1 minute to observe the object closely, right? Take 1 minute to observe it. Take 1 minute to take into account everything. For example, the color, the shape, the texture, whatever is the object you are taking. Or you can also take a picture if you want, but I would suggest that take an object. That's more beneficial because you are taking something from your surrounding, and English is used in a particular surrounding, right? So take an object. It's going to be something different, new and creative. So take an object, otherwise you can take a picture. I suggest take an object because that's very important as a prompt. Take an object, observe it closely, because once you have observed it, you will be able to use more words. You will be able to create more content, because now there are things registered here in your mind. Think in English, a lot of things what we are doing is from here, our brain, because we are thinking, right? Thought process that's involved, and when we observe things, the thinking part becomes easier, and that's why observe for 1 minute and then name whatever you can relate to it. One word, okay? So that is what you are supposed to do. Shall we begin with the step number 1? Let's do it. Let's see how you are supposed to do, okay? So I have 2 objects. I am going to combine them. What you can do is, you can keep 2-3 objects together to make it a little more challenging. So when you have 3 things together, it's more challenging. Plus it's like you are creating more content too. So I am going to use both of these objects together, right? So I can randomly say anything about any one of them, and I am not going to be like, okay, first I am going to speak about this. So you can speak about any of the object that's kept on your table, and you have taken it as a prompt, right? Taken my object as your prompt. Okay, let's begin. I can say cupcake. Okay, so I can say there is a cupcake, here is a cupcake, okay, and here is a yellow flowers. There is a leaves, stems, okay. We can talk about textures. There are tiny flowers. Okay. Here is a cupcake, here is a mirror, okay. I can say this is a green mirror. Here is, yellow flowers, okay. So it's smooth, thorny, beautiful, tiny flowers, okay, and delicious. I can use for this cupcake, delicious, tasty, sweet, and I'm talking about cupcake right now. Coat, golden spine cover, and there are so many things that you can name. You can use something related to them. For example, oxygen, because plants, they give out oxygen, right? Oxygen, freshness, writing, pen, hobby, right? Because writing can be a hobby for somebody, it can be a love for somebody, right? So many words do this, and this is how you are supposed to do the challenge. So this was the stage number 1, okay. So if you have more words to describe these 2 objects, okay, whatever the objects you are having right now with you, you can think about any of the, okay. So now let's move on to the stage number 2. Okay, so welcome to the stage number 2. So stage number 2 of this challenge, Think in English challenge. Now in this stage number 2, you have to simply use sentences to describe whatever you can see, whatever prompt you have taken, or prompts. If it is more than one, you have to describe, okay. Using sentence, you have to wave sentences now. One thing as a tip I would say is whatever words you have spoken out loud, once you are done with it, what you can do is you can write them down, but don't look at it. Just write them down so that they are solidified. Here it's like you have revised them by writing them, and you can do that. You can write them down later on, you can check them out. So see how much you have spoken about a particular object, right? So you can do that. This would help you to create more sentences in this particular stage. We are talking about the stage number 2. So this is a small tip that you can follow. If you want to skip it, you can skip it. Do not worry about writing. But if you want more help, you can write it down too. Okay. Now let's begin with the stage number 2. What you are supposed to do, you have to wave sentences. You have to wave sentences. You can wave sentences about like anything around these objects. You can use the words and you can make sentences using those words that you used to describe them in the stage number 1. So one, you can also do that. You can say anything about them in sentences, right? You have to describe them. You can compare them. Right? You can tell their similarities. So if there are two objects like I have, you can do a lot of things, a lot of experiment, because how you have so much opportunities to create content for speaking and thinking. So are you ready? Let's begin. With the stage number 2 of this challenge, let's see. Well, I have a beautiful journal with me in my hand. Okay, and there are some flowers besides me. Okay, there is a beautiful flower pot kept here too. The flower pot has many tiny flowers of yellow color. It's not real, but we can feel better while we are seeing that, right? So that is why we keep all these vases and flowers in our home, and it has a great texture. And if I talk about this, and so if we are having a bookmark, and I'm going to keep it back on the table beside my flower, okay, which is looking too beautiful, right? So kept here, and I'm giving me a feeling of nature, as if I am sitting outside in the nature. The flowers, the leaves, they are giving me a sense of peace and beauty. And if I compare both of them, both objects have almost same, not in same color, right? So that is the blue color, right? And they are the yellow color and light pinkish, I can say. Wow, that's a coincidence. Like, you can use a lot of sentences, you can compare, you can tell about it. Okay, the flower pot is beautiful and it's adding to the beauty of the curtain. I can just keep it there anywhere, right? I can place it anywhere. I can use my journal. To write something it, and maybe to record my datas, and maybe to write about my day. And I love writing because I have too many journals with me. So that is how you are going to describe using sentences. Okay, and you have to create a lot of content for a particular object, a lot of content, right? So when you create a lot of content for a particular object, when you are doing it, you are right thinking in English. But why you are able to do it? Because you have a prompt, you have a base, and this will help you also to speak in English. And that's why it's very simple challenge. Why simple? Because you already have a prompt. That means 50% of the work is already been done. You do not have to do a lot of work. 50% work is already been done, and you just have to use a lot of your wit of yours, right? So whatever information there is in your brain, that's already stored, it's going to be retrieved, and you are going to use it, and it's very beneficial for you. And if you take up this challenge, think in English challenge, you are going to improve your English. Believe me, and you are going to improve your speaking skills too. So this was the Think in English challenge for you. Think in English challenge, a challenge that is not only going to help you to think in English but also improve your fluency. So guys, it has stages where you are going to do your English speaking practice to a win situation. So do it, take up this challenge and improve your English speaking, because there are much more lessons on thinking in English. I would suggest you to go and check my playlist, because there I have uploaded 4 or 5 videos on think in English. You can go and check it out. Alright, because from today you will have to go through it for your thinking in English challenge. So that's it for today's video guys, and I think you like the video. If you like the video, please give thumbs up, and yes, don't forget to subscribe my channel. So please share this video, and thanks for watching. Bye bye, take care.